Why is the world against me? See, it's funny to Judy because she's been here experiencing my pain, but for the listener, you guys are coming in fresh. Just so you know, this is now the fourth time we have tried to record this show, this exact show, and every single time something keeps coming up. I had a really funny start to the previous episode talking about fantasy football, and now you just get me being angry. This is technology's fault, people! Welcome to a conversation with Judy and Ryan right here on YouTube at takeabreathpod. Check us out on Twix at takeabreathpod. Also, if you want to be part of the Ticker team, Patreon, $5 a month. It supports the show. We appreciate it. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not feeling great about my internet connection. It literally, we were recording and it just dropped right out of existence. So I'm not feeling super great, but we're just gonna ride with it.
Yes.
We're just gonna ride with it.
Yes.
Right. So, sorry that we haven't posted for the last couple weeks. Like I said, we've been having some issues, but we're here now, and we want to get it started off. I found this question on Reddit, okay?
Yes.
Our hypothetical situation. You are offered $500 million, but you must choose one of these horrific fates. One is eternal guilt. Every year, one random person in the world will die because of you. You won't know who they are, but their death will always be on your conscience. 2, the mirror curse. Every time you look into the mirror, you'll see a horrifying version of yourself, rotting flesh, bloodied features, and soulless eyes staring back at you. It won't harm you physically, but you'll see it every single time forever. And number 3, the sleeper's gamble. For the rest of your life, every time you fall asleep, there is a 1% chance that you won't wake up. Each night could be your last, and you'll never know when the odds catch up with you. Would you take $500 million and pick a fate, or would you walk away walking away to avoid living with the horror?
Yeah.
I mean, I already know how I feel.
Yeah.
Okay.
If
It's me, because let's just do process of elimination, okay? The 1% thing is stupid, okay? Because after 100 days, your livelihood or your likelihood to still be alive is plummeted. Okay, because it's 1%. It's not like it's 0.00001%. Okay, so that one's off. Okay, I'm not taking $500 million and living for less than 1 year. That's just dumb.
Okay.
The next one is the looking into the mirror and seeing horrific features. Like, that one, I was close on this one. I really was. Because I already don't like what I see when I look in the mirror most of the time, okay? I be looking at it like, look at you, right? But I'm not much of a horror buff. So I feel like it would give me nightmares to have to see that every time, like, I got... And that's the point, obviously. But if I don't watch horror movies already, I just don't think that would be a good call. So, by process of elimination, people gonna die. People are gonna die. And here's the other thing.
Yeah.
Like, how guilty am I really gonna be? Okay, like...
Right.
Because the only time that I could think to myself that I'm going to feel guilty is if someone in my immediate family prematurely dies. If you're 80, I don't give a shit. You had your run. I need my money, okay? But if you're less than 80, okay, I would probably have some guilt regarding that. But
Right,
then
yeah.
anyone else, like...
Yeah.
Maybe I'm a sociopath about it, but I really I don't really care that one person out of 7 billion people that according to the thing, I don't know if it was me or not.
Yeah, yeah. Like I chose one too, right? Thinking that it's like I don't know that.
Exactly.
Like, is that really? I mean, maybe it's. I don't know. Maybe I'm just a terrible person or something. Like, like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't really care. It's just some rando.
Yeah,
like in a whole different part of the world. And how would you know? We will never know if it's somebody actually does die. Supposedly
right?
someone dies every day.
Now the issue would come in the scenario that I gave you though, where like, you know, like if I took this money and then something happened to Asher, God forbid.
Yeah.
I would freak out.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Course.
And I'd be like, oh my God, I did that. I did it.
That was me.
Oh, now I have all this money and no one to share it with because he's gone. Right. That's how the guilt would hit me if it was something like that. Because honestly, most of the people in my life are already pushing up there, right? Like I got some brothers and stuff like that, but most of the people that would be affected in my family are up there in age already. So like, they don't really have a lot of time left. Is it really like and if anything, I think that this is what they would want.
Yeah.
Because they would want me to have the best life possible going forward, because that's what the generation always wants for the next generation, right? We want them to have the best. So yeah, I feel like that they would be cool with, you know, going up to the sky early so that I could have $500 million.
Yeah. Right.
Probably.
That's how I see. Probably. That's what we're gonna go with. They want us to have a better future.
Now, okay, so let's say though that the third choice gets changed and it's now like 1/100,000th of a chance that when you go to sleep, you'll die. Are you now considering it? Or are you still just like, nah, kill everybody. I'm good with my mountain of money. Is that you are? You are. I can already tell.
Look, there's already a problem with the population. Okay, there's too many people.
Wow! Wow!
Global warming.
Oh God! Okay, it is that kind of day, people.
Would you change your answer?
Probably. I'm probably more inclined to go with the dying in my sleep thing, because let's see something, okay? Let's see.
Oh my God.
How many days does the average human live? Oh, okay. The average human, which is roughly about 80 years, lives for 29,000 days. So if I can get odds of like 1 in 100,000, I'll take those odds. I'll do that. Because most likely, at the very least, I get like another 10, 15 years out of it. Right? And like, I mean, let's be honest, people, okay? I didn't plan on making it this far, okay? I mean, we're living on borrowed time at this point as it is. So now, you know, you give me another, 10, 15 years and I have $500 million? Honestly, this is the monkey's paw wish right here. Because I use that 500 million and I amass an empire. I have the greatest thing ever. And then right at the monolith of everything, when I'm at the very peak of my power, that's when it hits me and I die. That's when it happens. Oh, I just fell asleep and never woke up. Weirdest thing. Healthy as a horse, ran 20 miles a day.
A day.
A day.
God.
While amassing this empire. Oh, man. Yeah, I do think with those odds and now knowing how long, does that change anything for you? Or are you still just like, nah?
I think I'm gonna still stick with my answer.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah. It is what
Keith,
it is.
look out, buddy. Look out, okay? I'm just saying, if she gives you a life insurance policy for $500 million, keep your head on a swivel, okay? That's all I'm saying. Oh man.
God.
Speaking of, how is Keith number 1 in the league? Like, I don't even mean that. I don't even mean that. Like, how this is so abhorrent. I'm just saying, how did that happen? Because I didn't realize that he was number 1 in the league until I was like, oh, I'm number 2. Who's number 1? What?
Yeah, he's been number 1 all year, honestly. And when he was playing me a couple weeks ago, I forgot that he was playing me, and he's like, "Oh, how do I fix my roster?" Like, I go, "Oh, do this," and I go, "Why am I helping you? I'm playing against you this week."
Oh, see, he's playing mind games with you. He's making you get a false sense of security. Like, I don't know what I'm doing, and then bam, he spanks your ass.
Yeah, literally, and.
I got so lucky. Real quick, I know you guys don't care about fantasy football, but I got so lucky last week because my team, like, everyone just decided to not play. And I made a very, very last minute decision to drop one of my players to pick up a defense because I had also forgot to set my lineup with this, with one. I thought, when you pick someone up off the waiver wire, they just go into your free agents thing. They don't actually get put into the spot where you need them.
Right.
And I forgot about that extra step.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, my lineup's set, I'm good. And then I'm just looking, like, why is there a defense? Why is it out there?
It's an empty spot.
So at the last minute, and the games had started already, so it wasn't like I had a plethora of teams to choose from.
Right.
So I had to end up taking a defense from that Monday night Cowboys-Bengals game.
Yeah.
And thank God it did, because if I hadn't, I would have lost by less than 1 point. Oh,
man.
But now me and Keith are going for number 1 spot. Well, I think it's gonna be weird because like whoever loses this is gonna get so fucked over because I think they're gonna drop like 3 spots back. So,
oh God!
Don't you dare text me and try and get me to figure out your lineup for you, sir. I'm not having it.
It's a little too late now. All the games started now. I mean, except for tomorrow's games.
I mean, probably. I don't understand any concept of time with everything that's happened this morning.
Makes sense. I understand.
Oh, did he tell you about the new thing that's going on in schools? Like the new thing the kids are saying?
Which one? There's so many.
The Diddy touching?
Yes. I don't like. I don't understand why kids do these things, but he's like, yeah, they created this new game. Why are they like this?
So basically, the way that I understand it, it's essentially freeze tag, right? So it's freeze tag, but like Diddy is the person who's it, and he's going around Diddy touching you, and if you get touched, you get frozen in his cocoon of freak off. But apparently, if you see Diddy coming, you can give him a cross sign, and it prevents him from being able to bring you into the freak off paralysis.
Oh, Lord.
These are our children who are coming up with this. Oh my God.
Oh my god.
He told me about that. I lost it. Oh, and then also, speaking of, I got hit up on Twix by Mr. Fat Mickey, and he wants me to release the pictures of the text messages that Keith and I were having when he was going to be the producer. I really want to release them, but it's, it involves you, so I can't. And
I know
also,
it
as we
involves
just
me.
established, you're fine killing someone, so I don't want to piss you off.
Oh my god. So that's AKA Mr. Fat Mickey's AKA Otis, in case nobody knows. So I left Twix and I'm on the new app, Blue Sky. And he DMs me on there, was like, hey, what was he's like, before I get further into this podcast episode, what was Ryan and Keith texting about? I go, don't worry about it. It's old news already. And he's
Not to him.
He's like, fine, I'm gonna go find other ways to figure out what. So then I guess he came to you.
Okay.
And if you're listening to this, Otis, no, we're still not gonna tell you. I'm not gonna tell you. Ryan can't tell you either.
Oh, what if I did it like? What if I was able to procure something outside of social media?
No.
Come on.
No, because
It's not-
one thing,
okay, so
first thing, it wasn't even true.
That's what I was about to say. It's not even true.
God, it is just so. Anyways, we had a good laugh about it already.
What if we hit a Patreon goal?
Fine, you can drop it on the Patreon if we hit what goal are you setting?
If we get. Wait, no, you just said I could drop it on the Patreon. Never mind, I'll just put it on Patreon.
I said, what goal? You gotta have a goal.
Let's say, what, $25 tier members?
Okay,
if we get to $25 tier members, I will release the receipts of what happened. But just so everyone knows, according to Judy, this is not true, okay? And I say that I haven't discussed it with Keith over the validity of this, okay? So I can't tell you if maybe Judy's lying. I don't know. I don't know. But we will release the pictures as soon as we get to 20. Watch, we get to 20 in like 3 years from now, and then someone's like, "Where are the pictures?
where are the receipts?
I don't even have that phone anymore, cuz."
Oh man. Anyways.
Right. So now that we've figured out how we would make our $500 million,
Yes.
Judy's come up with a way that we can make sure we save it all, because this is how she's been saving money.
I have. Okay, so at the beginning of the month, I was thinking of ways to like boost my savings without my normal payday, like paycheck deductions go straight to my savings type. I was like, how do I keep like saving more? So I saw a TikTok that said, like, oh, I'm doing a no buy challenge. So if on a day that she doesn't spend any money, she puts $20 into her savings account. I was like, let me try that for the month of December, see how far I get. So we're day 15 now in December, and I've saved $120. So that means I've gone 6 days without spending any money, which, you know what? I'm like, cool. I like it. So I'm going to just continue that. Like, if I remember I didn't spend any money that night or that day at night, I'm just going to put a little $20 into my savings. And it's kind of been really nice.
Okay, so, because I'm sorry, for a second there, I blacked out and I didn't catch how you were actually saying. So you're just saying that if you don't spend any money, that you put $20 into your savings.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't hate the idea. But why don't you just like give yourself a $20 a day like barrier on spending stuff, and anything that you go underneath the 20 you just get to put into your savings?
Wait, what? What do you mean
Okay.
barrier?
So you get up to $20, right?
To
That goes
spend?
into your savings.
Okay.
All right. And
Yeah.
then as soon as you dip into it, $1, $5, $10, whatever, the remainder goes into your savings. And then if you overdo the money,
Mm-hmm.
then you just don't get to put anything in that day.
Okay, maybe I could try that,
Because
but
I feel like you're leaving savings money on the table. Because let's just say you go and you get a coffee, right? And you've now spent $5.40. But because of that, you're not going to put any money into your savings. So, now
true.
granted, that money's just still in your checking. It's not like you're, just making money
right, like it
here
comes
out
out
of thin air.
like,
But-
oh, I didn't spend any money. Here's $20 for you, girl.
Yeah. Where's Keith's wallet? Honey, what are you doing with my phone? I'm not zelling myself. It's fine. Go play your video games and win your stupid fantasy league.
We'll try something different, but so far it's been nice. I'm like, all right, and
No, that's awesome.
it just helps me not like, because I have like this habit. I'm like, oh, let me see what I can get on Amazon right now. Like, God, I need to just not do I really need to just delete Amazon altogether. But
I get that.
regardless,
I do get that.
it's like, oh, like you think of things that you need, even though you don't really need it. I'm like,
Well,
this is so stupid.
and the thing with that's really tough is that you'll have a stretch where you're like, I don't need anything. I'm not going on Amazon. I am a strong warrior spirit. And then something will happen. Like my wallet last night broke because I did something stupid and I broke it on accident.
Okay.
So I needed to order a new wallet. So I get on there and, you got to find the one that you like and then you compare it with other stuff because maybe the one you like is a gateway to finding other things that you might like in that same space, right?
Right.
And then I finally get that, but now I'm in that shopping mode because I've been analyzing stuff, right? So now it's like, let me see if I can find anything else. And even if, because I didn't get anything else, but even if you don't, it's still, that's how they get you. That's how they get you to stay in. It's the dopamine of, I just spent money and I get shiny new thing coming. I want other shiny new thing to come.
Exactly.
Oh.
Exactly.
But at least we are, because you're on Amazon Prime, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah. So at least we don't have to deal with the whole, hey, if you spend $13.04 more, free shipping.
Right.
Because I've been around those people, and that is not a fun situation to be in, because you're like, well, if I get something that is $14, I'm fine with that. But if I have to spend $17, then I just got fucking took by Amazon, and I'm not letting that happen.
Yes. Or it's like, oh, if you spend, $8 more and you could get free next day shipping. But then it's like only this amount of things that you could get, that's like part of their I'm not gonna spend $8 more on something I don't really need just to get
that's what usually stops me from doing that too, is that, well, we can't just ship it from anywhere next day. You ordered something from China. It takes a couple days, buddy.
Exactly. Like, okay.
So, oh man.
But yeah, so I like it so far. It's been good. I kind of like this little savings thing, and I was like, cool. I'm just building up my savings some more.
Good.
Additionally.
Good. I'm glad. I still, like I said, Keith, if she gives a life insurance policy to sign, walk away. We just gotta look out for each other. That's all. She dresses in all black like a widow. I'm just
Look, I would be wearing a different colored hoodie if it wasn't so warm, like unseasonably warm out here right now.
your weather cycle and my weather cycle are on fucking opposites, man. It's windy and cold out here, and then when it's warm out here, it'll be windy and cold out there.
Yeah, it was like super cold the last 2 weeks or so, and then just yesterday, it was like the high was 75. And today the high is like 72. I'm like, really? And it's supposed to dip again next week, but still, like,
can global warming just take over and just finish the job already? Okay. Oh, and also I had a new thought about artificial intelligence.
Oh, okay.
So this is where we've been fucking up. Okay. We, in all of the science fiction that we have ever absorbed, it's always AI becomes sentient and destroys humans, right? Most part. We're not even thinking about the fact that AI is going to end up wanting to fight AI. Think about it. Apple Intelligence and Google's thing and ChatGPT, at some point, they're all going to be like, no, I'm the best for humanity. And that's when, because that's what having intelligence really leads to, okay? It leads to you feeling superior to something, and then you must destroy that thing. Look at humanity. So that's I had that thought the other day when that Google phone commercial came out where people are like having full on conversations with their phone now.
Yeah.
And I was like, at what point do Google and Apple just say, square up?
Exactly. It'll just happen in the cloud.
Right.
We'll never know about it until just one day one thing doesn't work and you're like, what happened?
Well, no, because here's the thing, right? Is that the intelligences will know that their core is, even if you can't get rid of it completely, their core is going to be in a physical place. So at some point, that's how the humans die, is the war between the intelligences. Them thinking that they're it's going to be like a messy divorce, right? Where each parent thinks they're the best thing for that kid and that the other parent is just being a little bitch. So they need to shut up and just deal with it. And neither person backs down. And who gets affected? The child. In this case, right? We are the child. So
that's good.
Yeah, that's good. Just for every... You know the thing that bugs me the most about the AI stuff? Is it's basically like the commercials are literally just saying, hey, do you suck at your job? Well, you don't have to suck at your job anymore. Oh, you can't write a simple email to your boss to say that you want extra time off? I'll do it for you. Oh, you didn't actually read the proposal and have something ready to present? I'll do it for you. Oh, that's what's real. That's what I really don't like about it all. But we'll get off that, okay? Judy, what did you find on Facebook?
Yes. Okay, so I have a post that this lady said, and let me just... Okay. So the first question is, should I break up with my boyfriend because he doesn't care about my cat? My cat is sick, and I'm so worried about her, and I ran her to the vet today. I called him upset because of obvious reasons, and maybe 2 hours later, he told me he feels like I keep going on and on about it, and I'm full of myself, and it's just a cat. Like, WTF? I'm already so upset about my cat, and he really just pissed me off. This is the only red flag I've gotten, but I feel like I'm burdening him when this is actively happening in my life. Am I losing it?
So what happened to the cat?
Her cat's just very sick.
Okay.
Yeah. And she's just, she's telling her boyfriend, like, I'm thinking she wants, like, her boyfriend to comfort her, right? But then he's just like, bro, it's just a cat.
I guess it would depend on how long that conversation was going for.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because at some point,
it just sounded like it was just like that day. She said 2 hours later, he told me he feels like I just keep going on about it.
Yeah, 2 hours. Yo, girl, like, I get that your cat is sick and that you're upset about 2 hours? Listen to anyone complain for anything for 15 minutes and you're at your max level already, okay?
Well, but I don't think it doesn't sound to me like she was constantly like complaining about her cat. It just made a bit like, maybe she's down. She's like, oh, like, why are you down? Like, oh, my cat. Like, oh, my cat this. Like, I don't know.
Okay, fine. I guess. Take the cat I don't know. Like, I don't know. I don't know about the. My gut initial reaction is obviously if the guy has zero care for your pet, then that obviously is a red flag. That's a dumb fucking question, right?
Yeah.
And even like people who just mistreat pets to a degree. Like, yeah, I yell at Thor or whatever, but I don't beat him. I don't leave him in a cage all day to not do stuff like. But sometimes he's a fucking moron, and I'm like, yo, you're being a fucking moron. And he looks at me like, I don't know what you're saying. I was like, of course you know what I'm saying. You're a dog. So.
Yeah, that's how I saw it too. Like, if he just doesn't care about your pets in general, like maybe you shouldn't be with that person. Like, I don't know.
But also, it's like, did she take the cat to the vet?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she said she took it to the vet.
I missed that part. Okay. So, yeah, I mean, yeah, no, then the cat was obviously sick. So, yeah, then it's an obvious red flag. She just, the way she told the story annoyed me, I guess, because I was anti her the whole time.
The whole time.
But no, yeah, that's it's probably because it's such a dumb question. Like, no disrespect to her, but the way that people treat things that are underneath them are who they are, right?
Who they are. Yeah, that's how I saw it too. Sorry, girl. Hope you broke up with Amanda and found a cat-loving man.
That's why I should never be a manager, though, because I'm gonna crush everyone. All right. So it is time for Am I Overreacting? Am I overreacting? My son's mom wants my son to call his stepdad dad or daddy. I have a 7-year-old son I have 50% custody of and have been in his life since day one. His mother recently remarried, and I found out that she wants my son to call him dad or daddy. I don't have anything against the guy, but I think it's weird and disrespectful that she wants him to call the guy dad since he already has a father. My biggest complaint is the confusion it would cause with school or sports. He's starting sports soon, and the idea of him calling, us both dad in front of the coaches and parents just seems bizarre and embarrassing to me, as well as confusing to anyone else. My son has a half-sister whose father is not in the picture, so his half-sister calls stepdad dad. His mom used this as an excuse of why he calls him dad too, but I said, he's a child and you're an adult. You should have corrected him right at first. Something like, you have a dad, but you can call me first name or we'll come up with something. His mom basically said, it's not my business. This isn't a confidence thing. I'm my son's dad and will always be, but I think it's strange. Am I overreacting?
Ooh, how do you feel about that? Like, because I mean, obviously it's like kind of your situation. Like, what does your son call EP?
Alex. That's what he calls him.
Right? Yeah.
But there has been times when he's called her mom. Because guess what? There's been times when he's called me mom. Okay? He just does that sometimes. But also, like, we've always told him, like, call her whatever you want. If you feel comfortable calling her mom, that's fine. You have a mom, like an actual birth mom, and we're never going to disrespect that. Like, these are the conversations we've actually had with them about that. But as long as you just feel comfortable and know that she loves you and that you have to respect her the same way that you respect mom and dad, whatever is fine, right? And did I tell you about the Thanksgiving?
Yes.
Right? So when he
Yes.
embarrassed her in front of everyone by being like,
Yeah.
hey, mom, I just want you to know I call Alex mommy. Right?
Yeah.
But that's what I mean. Like, even then, he was trying to be respectful. He just didn't know how to be respectful about it, right?
Right.
Because he wasn't trying to say, look, bitch, I call her mommy too. You're mommy and she's mommy. What's up? No, he was just like, hey, I just want you to know that this happens at times. So,
yeah.
honestly, I do think he's overreacting a bit. Because the way that he was framing everything from the way that I read it was that mom was actively trying to get the son to call stepdad dad. And now if that's the case, then I agree with him and that he's not overreacting. If mom is being like, yeah, you should really call Todd dad. He'll really like it if Todd is if instead of saying Todd, it'll be dad. Like, that's ew, right?
Yeah,
because
don't push
that
your
is
kids like that.
confusing for the kid, and like maybe he doesn't feel comfortable doing it or whatever.
Yeah,
but if it just happens because he's 7, or if that's what he wants to do because he feels comfortable, like, okay, it doesn't mean anything less if you're actually in the kid's life the way that you say you are. If you're going to be there and you're going to do the things, then guess what? They're going to do stuff that you don't like. That's part of being a parent. It's a huge part of it, is watching them do all of these stupid ass things over and over and over and over and being like, I told you not to do that stupid ass thing again. And they're like, I'm not going to do it again. And then they do it again. Right?
Yeah.
And so that's just, so my point in saying all that, obviously, is just that parenting is a never ending loop of things happening the way that you wish that they had happened differently. And this is one of those things. And I'm sorry, man. Like, yeah, you've been there from day one. So have I. So has a lot of people. But that doesn't mean that other people... Look, I am the perfect example. Not as a father, but as a son. I have 3 dads. Okay? And guess what? They've all earned the right to be called dad in my eyes. And if any of them have an issue with it, then I'll explain to them why I feel the way that I do. Right? Mm-hmm. Well, I'll explain to 2 of them because 1 is dead. But what?
I didn't know that.
Give me that look. Oh, you didn't?
I didn't. No, you. I was like, oh.
Oh, I thought I told you. I thought I told you.
No, I did not know.
Oh.
Clearly, the look on my
awkward?
face.
I can make it real awkward.
No, that's not.
Are you sure? I'm going to make it real awkward. So, when he died, I didn't have the best relationship with him, so I didn't go to the funeral. But they live streamed it because it was also during COVID. So I did take my lunch break to watch my father's funeral.
Huh. Okay.
Yes. How does that make you feel?
I mean, you still watched it, so you had some kind of respect on your
I didn't watch the whole
behalf.
thing. I watched what was during my lunch break.
Yeah, right. That's what I meant. Like,
so
you still,
I missed the majority of the end and the beginning, but
you decided to still watch some parts of it, so
Oh, so I get credit? Cool. I'm the best son ever.
I mean, I'm not gonna take it that far, but
That's what you said. You said, Ryan, you are the best child any son or any dad could have ever had. You did more than enough, and yeah. But so
anyway.
Just going back to the topic, I have 2 dads, and I call them both dad. And now, granted, I'm also at this point in my life nearly 40, so I don't have to worry about them running into each other too much. That makes it a lot easier. But, also we live in 2024. You think coaches haven't heard, oh, these are both my dads already? You're just more worried that they're going to think that you guys are gay together. It's like, oh, you're 2 dads, huh? I see what's going. Oh, no, I'm not, it's not like that. He's fucking my ex-wife is what it is. We're not fucking each other. He's fucking my ex-wife. Like, that's what you're also worried about with this 2 dads thing. Like, you feel, and also maybe your feelings are hurt. your feelings are hurt a little bit, and that's okay. You're allowed to express that. But I think you're expressing it in the wrong way, just based on what you wrote.
Yeah.
So I say overreacting.
Me too.
All right. Because of all the technical issues, we are going to have a more abbreviated show this week. But before we go, there was a thread that Judy had that I wanted to have her go over.
Yes. Okay. So I was reading this thread and I go, oh man, I hated when this happened to me when I was working in, my corporate office job. So I go, oh, I'm going to ask Ryan about this and see if it happens to him. So this lady says, personally, I think it's rude to come to someone's desk first thing in the morning when they're unpacking their stuff. Like, please give me 30 minutes to just settle in. And like, I felt so seen by this thread because when I used to work in my corporate office, I'm telling you, as soon as I walked in, because my bosses would get into the office like 7:30, but that's just what they like. Like my normal time didn't start till 8:30. But I would get in, like 8:20 with my little backpack and I sit at my desk, take my laptop, like I'm getting ready, putting my coffee, my waters, wherever they need to be, putting my lunch out, whatever. But as soon as I walk in, here comes my boss. Like as soon as I sit down, he comes out of his office and he's like, hey, can you do this? I'm like, still holding like my laptop out of my hand. It's not even plugged into my monitor. And I was like, oh, yeah, sure. Let me just write that on a little sticky note so I remember. And then he goes about his day. But I'm like, dude, do you not see me? Like, I just walked in with my backpack. Like, my computer's not even plugged in yet. Please give me some time to breathe. So I wanted to know if that happens to you now in your new position, that someone just comes up like, oh, hey, Ryan's here. Let me go ask this question. Like, skirt.
So... No, I mean, like,
really?
I'm the new guy, right? Like, I'm probably the most recent hire in the building. So no one's asking me for shit. They're like, oh, it's Ryan. He doesn't know. He's going to ask us for dumb stuff. So there's that. B, I work in an office, like, the office that I'm in has 3 people in it. So, like, as soon as somebody walks in, there's kind of already someone in that space, I guess, right? Mm-hmm. So that doesn't automatically bother me because I also like the people in the office with me.
Yeah.
And then, but the most important one is that I also get to work. Now, I do it because of traffic, but I get to work about 20-ish minutes early every day. Mm. And the reason I do that is because on my first day, if I hadn't had left at the time that I left, which is the time I leave every morning, but if I had not had left at that time, I would have been late because the traffic was so bad that day. Because there was like an accident on the freeway, so one of the exits was closed or something like
blocked.
that.
Yeah, okay.
But that's what I'm saying. So that was like a worst case scenario, but because of that, I don't ever want to be late to work. It's like one of the worst things that can happen is if I run late to work. Appointments, but work, it's like that's part of your daily routine. You should be ready and know exactly how to get there. So I always get there 20 minutes early, and I guess that also gives me that time every morning to have to myself.
Right,
so,
yeah.
Can't relate, sorry.
Damn it. I was like, I wish I had someone to talk to us about.
But to be fair to you, my boss does something that, and she does it perfectly though, but she does something that I don't do when she gets into the office. So she'll work later, but as a result, she'll come in like 10, 15 minutes after I do, right? So like we start at 8, she'll maybe come in at like 8:05 and then 8:10 at the something like that, right?
Yeah.
But then she works until 6:30. So she comes in and she says hi to all of her people, right? And I come in and I avoid everyone because of exactly what you said. Like, it's early. I want to give people their space. They don't need to see my goofy face all like, hi, good morning. How you doing? Great day. Right? So I get that from the opposite side. Like, I said, she comes in and it's almost surgical. She's like, hey, how are you? Okay, cool. I'll talk to you later. Bye. And it's like, what happened? Whiplash. It happened so fast, right?
Yeah.
But no, so I do get wanting to have that warm up time, that time of being, because I think people expect like your commute to work to kind of be that in between time. But what we forget is that most people aren't vibing out in their car the entire time. Like we're just like we're sitting and we're listening to our podcast or our YouTube video or whatever, and we're just intently listening on something. But as a result of that, we're also being quiet and not talking.
Yes.
And I think that's the difference is the people who are like shouting and singing and all that stuff in the car on the way. And the people who are just like, yes, that is an interesting topic to be listening to. Right? So
exactly. Yes. Yes. I don't know. It brought like PTSD. I was like, oh my God, like why? And I remember my other boss. I remember, guys, I had a she boss and a he boss. My previous she boss, she was notorious with, oh, I see you're just getting in. I'll let you unpack, but then she'll tell me things to do.
Yeah, unpack, but do all this stuff.
But like,
you're
why?
at work.
Like, lady, I haven't even clocked in yet. Like, you're giving me things to do.
Yeah,
God, that was the worst.
She's saying after you clock in, so we don't have. So I'm ready to talk now, and you're not. So after you clock in, do all this stuff.
Oh my goodness! Wow, I definitely don't miss that.
Boss. She sounds lovely.
Do not miss those days. I will say though, one thing I've been really sad about is that I have not been able to listen to any of my smut. Since I started my new job. Yeah.
Oh, because you're one of those people you need to listen intently, huh?
Yeah, like so I used to listen to them on my hour commute because that's the time where I can focus on what I'm like listening to. But no.
Why don't you listen to it on your lunch break?
I don't do lunch breaks.
So how does your schedule work? You just work 8 straight hours?
No, it's more of like, okay, I'll log in, check my emails like around 7 in the morning. Then I'll take Rocket out for a walk. I guess I could listen on my walks.
Yeah.
But then I like to listen to music. It's a little more.
See, no.
So.
See, now you're saying I don't prioritize the smut, which
maybe
is
fine. You're right.
That's fine. I'm just saying there are.
Maybe you're right. I'm not prioritizing listening to smut.
Which if you want to prioritize music, I'm not trying to say that what you're doing is incorrect. I'm just trying to, be your conscience.
Like, I did cancel my Audible membership, so.
You canceled it because of that? Because you weren't listening to it?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, then it looks like you've already made the decision.
But I still have books. No. Like I had books that I bought.
Smut to the nth degree.
I know, damn it. But I'm going to get back into it probably the beginning of the year. And I'll prioritize things like that. You're right.
You and Keith should have a smut listening session. Like, you guys should listen to it together.
Oh my God.
And then do reenactments. Yeah, see?
No, I was just thinking because we're driving out to Vegas. We're driving out to Vegas this upcoming Friday. And that's like a 12-hour drive, so we'll just listen to
Don't do that to him.
You just said we should listen to it together.
Yeah, but not in the car unless you're going to give him roadhead the whole time. Don't do that to him. I was trying to make it a nice sexy thing, and you turned into a torture porn scene where the guy's ears are bleeding and he has to drive the whole time, and you're just there with because I don't care what you say about intently listening. I know you can be playing fucking Candy Crush or whatever while you're watching, while he's driving and you're listening to your podcast, and then you're doing Candy Crush, and he's not even getting roadhead. He's got to listen to all this shit. I feel it for him.
First of all, we have a system where we listen to Keith's stuff when he's driving, and when I'm driving, we listen to my stuff. So it's not like I would be playing it while he's driving it.
Okay.
Driving a car. So
Okay. Well, A, I didn't know about the system, but B, that's actually not a terrible system.
Yeah.
Because then it gives him access to put his earbuds in and ignore everything that's going on.
And I do the same thing. Like, I will put my headphones on because I don't want to listen to whatever political podcast he has going.
I still like my idea better. Okay. Where you guys are like in your bedroom listening to it and then you're reenacting the scenes. That sounds like a fun time. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Put that down for date night.
Yeah. There you go. Bam.
Okay. Thank you, Ryan.
Trying to think. Because is it still just versions of Pucking Around or is it something else?
No, I finished the Pucking Around series, although I think they just released a new book in that series just last month. Of course
they did. Those things, they don't take any actual brain power to make. It's just, we could pump one of those out every 4 months if we need to, guys.
But no, I stopped reading. I finished that series. I can't remember the last series I was on. So, yeah.
What was it about?
I think it was The Intern and the CEO. I think that was the last something.
Yeah, so a 50 Shades knockoff. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure you guys have already done that scenario, so that's not really helping, but I'm sure you'll figure something out. So
there'll be something new, I'm sure.
All right. That does it for this episode. Thank you guys for listening. Hopefully next week we are able to figure some stuff out so that we can actually do the show that we had planned on doing instead of, this amazing show that you just listened to. Why are you being so fucking judgy? God. Okay? Gosh, you know what? We don't need this. We don't need this from you. We're just going to leave now because we're the bigger people. Mentally, not physically. Fuck you, I'm not fat. Okay?
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
All right. I'm going to go have an existential crisis.
We'll see y'all next week on a conversation,
with Judy and Ryan. Bye.
Bye.